Stand tall and shift the weight to 1 foot. Lift the foot to the hand and press equally between the inner thigh and the sole of the foot to hold the foot in place. Bring the hands to the hips to make the hips level, and then reach the arms up overhead. Turn the right knee to the back as you press the right sit bone forward. With the arms and legs straight, reach the hips up and back for downward dog. Move the chest towards the thighs and press the heels down towards the floor. Keeping the arms and legs fully straight, bring the hips down now and lift the chest up for upward dog. Roll the shoulders back to bring the ribs forward as you move the tailbone down and in. Extend the chest up. Step 1 foot along the side of the hands and make a right angle with the knee. Keep the spine straight. To increase the stretch on the groin and hip, lower the elbows to the floor and then back up to the hands. Next, extend the front leg to stretch the hamstring and lower the head to the knee. Repeat several cycles of the elbows to the floor and then extending the knee. Return to plank and then stride forward with the opposite foot. Repeat the cycle on the opposite leg. Stand with the feet parallel about 4 feet apart with the toes forward. Bend forward from the hips and place the hands on the ground directly underneath the shoulders and look up. Next, reach back and hold the ankles to bring the crown of the head to the floor. From the side, see how the legs are vertical and the spine straight and how the head comes down between the feet. To come up, place the hands on the floor, look up, take the hands to the hips, and then stand up. For this hip rotator stretch, sit with the pinky toe of 1 foot in the crease of the opposite knee. Sit tall in your spine and then gradually walk the hands forward to bring the abdomen closer to the shins to increase the stretch on the outer hip of the top leg. Though not shown, if this bothers your ankles or knees, start with crisscross legs and bend forward. Lie flat and draw the knee into the chest, and then turn the thigh out and hold the shin like a log at the crook of the elbows. Attempt to lie flat while holding the shin parallel to the shoulders and draw the foot close to the opposite shoulder. To move more deeply into the stretch, take the same hand as foot behind the head and hold the other hand. Though not shown, it is less intense to do this stretch with the bottom leg bent and the foot flat on the floor. Sit with the trunk facing over one leg with the heel of the bent leg in front of the opposite hip. Reach the arms up and then forward towards the floor. To progress the stretch on the outer hip, move the foot forward slightly, keeping both the knee and the foot on the floor. Again, reach the arms up to stretch the back hip flexor and then forward to stretch the front hip. As mobility improves, progress to having the shin parallel to the front of the mat with the ankle and knee down. Reach up and then forward for the full stretch. Sit holding the ankles with the soles of the feet together and the feet in as far as possible. Sit tall and press the knees down. Next, lean the forearm onto one thigh to bring the knee down to the floor. With the heel of the hand, gently press the opposite thigh towards the floor. Repeat on the other side. With your back against a wall, bring the feet in as close as possible and press both thighs down at the same time. Sit with the legs wide apart. Press the knees down as you reach the arms up and extend the trunk forward towards the floor. Keep the toes pointing up and the knees straight as you reach forward. From straddle sit, bend over one leg, with the trunk facing down and the belly button directly over the thigh. Next, reach up with one arm and side bend to hold the foot with the trunk facing forward. The bottom shoulder is in contact with the knee. Reach both hands to the foot, draw the elbows wide apart, and look up through your arms. If your inner thighs are tight, sit up on a small height and then take the legs wide apart and lean forward with the spine straight. From hands and knees, slide one leg out. Slightly arch the back and alternate extending the sit bones up and back with the toes rotated forward, and then extend the sit bones up and back again with the toes rotated up. From hands and knees, walk the knees wide apart with the inside edges of the knees and ankles on the floor. Press the hips back, arching the back and lifting the sit bones to stretch the inner thighs, and then press the hips forward, moving the tailbone down and forward to stretch the front of each hip. From high kneeling, step the right foot out to the side with the heel exactly in line with the left knee. Tuck the right hip forward to open the front of the hip. Extend the left arm up, the right arm down, and side bend directly to the right. Bring the top arm alongside the ear and look up. Keep the head in line with the thigh. Next, extend the leg and place the heel on the floor. Again, reach the left arm up and extend the right hand along the shin as you turn the chest away from the floor and press the right hip forward. Feel the strong stretch in the side trunk. From high kneeling, step one leg straight out in front with the toes pointing up. Bend forward with the arms and trunk straight and look up. Lift the sit bones up and back. Next, walk the hands out farther and bring the head down towards the shin. Check that the support thigh is still vertical. From high kneeling, now sit back onto the heel. Bring the abdomen closer to the thigh and walk the hands farther forward. Here are a few ways to stretch the hip flexors. From kneeling, step forward with one foot and slide the hips forward to make a straight line from knee to knee. Press the hips forward while you slightly contract the back leg gluteus muscle to increase the stretch on the front of the hip. Now slightly extend the back knee off the floor without lifting the head up. Keep the tailbone moving down and don't crush the low back. Place a yoga block under the front leg sit bone for support. With the hands on the hips, move the tailbone down as you lift the front waist up. Tuck the front foot in towards the block to add a calf stretch. Lie with the foam roller under the sacrum. This is the bony part at the center back of your pelvis. Hold one leg into the chest to tip the pelvis and extend the other leg out. Attempt to draw the back ribs down towards the floor to further tip the pelvis. Feel the stretch in the front hip of the extended leg. From a lunge position, reach back and hold the foot with the opposite hand and draw the heel to the buttocks. To change the quad stretch, hold the foot with both hands and draw the foot close to the hip. Keep the trunk tall as you press the knee down and lift the front pelvis up. As a variation, place the shin on the wall with the knee close to the wall, then step forward with the opposite foot. Place the hands on the floor inside the foot and press the hips forward, making a straight line from knee to knee. Next, glide the hips back towards the wall and hold the front thigh with the trunk tall. Attempt to bring the buttocks and low back to the wall. Keep the toes pointing straight up and the heel touching the side of the hip. Hold the wall for balance and eventually reach the arms up overhead to increase the length in the trunk. From kneeling, slide out into a split and turn the back leg down so the kneecap and all 5 toenails are facing the floor. Reach the arms up overhead and feel the stretch in the back leg hip flexor. To increase the hamstring stretch on the front leg, bend forward and reach towards the foot. Return to vertical and reach the arms up. As a modification, slide the front leg onto the seat of a folding chair and hold the seat or the backrest or reach the arms up. Turn the back toes straight down and extend the back knee to increase the hip flexor stretch on the back leg. For this twist, place the left foot outside the right thigh with both sit bones down on the ground. Lift the arms up to lengthen the trunk and then twist to the left. Hook the right upper arm on the outer thigh and try to close the space between the armpit and the knee. Use the back hand on the floor to help you twist. Turn the abdomen and the ribs from the right to the left and roll the shoulders back to open the chest. Repeat on the other side. Have a yoga block handy. From high kneeling, cross one thigh over the other and point the toes straight down and back. Sit on a block. Attempt to stack up the knees and keep the heels close to the block. This stretches the front of the feet and the ankles and the outer hips. Bring one heel close to the hip, reach the arms up, and turn to the outside of the thigh. Hook the elbow to the outer knee and use the leverage to bring the side ribs closer to the thigh. Turn the chest to the side. Use the hand on the floor to help you lengthen the trunk and twist more. Step forward with the right foot and press the hips forward. Reach the left arm up and then hook the elbow around the right outer knee. Use the right hand to move the thigh and bring the armpit more around the knee and then take the right hand to the hip. Reach the left arm down to the floor or onto a block and extend the back knee straight as you revolve the bottom ribs forward close to the thigh. To turn the chest more, take the hand up to the ceiling and then to the ear and then extend the arm next to the head. Extend fully from the back heel through the fingertips. From supine, hold a strap around the foot and bend the knee out to the side. The other foot is flat on the floor with the knee bent. Flex and extend the top knee slowly several times. Gradually, straighten the leg on the floor until the calf is touching down and both legs are fully extended. Keep even weight on both sides of the pelvis and do not rock to the top leg side. From kneeling, extend the trunk and arms forward. Kneel with the toes together and the knees slightly apart. Bend forward so the side ribs and inner thighs are close or touching each other and the sit bones are on the heels. Walk the fingers forward any amount. Now press the right sit bone into the heel and walk the hands to the left. Then walk the right hand out just a little bit farther as you keep reaching the right sit bone back. Feel the strong stretch on the right side of the trunk. Now walk over to the other side and repeat. As a variation, lie supine and draw one knee towards the armpit and extend the opposite leg down towards the floor. Or, draw both legs into the trunk to release the low back and fully flex the hips.